Today I am once and for all ending my ongoing gunpowder shortage with a creeper farm that gives me 600,000 gunpowder per hour. And this is real-time footage, this is not a time-lapse. Gunpowder is extremely useful in Minecraft. Not only do I use it every day for rockets, but you can make TNT, fireworks, and splash potions out of it. And over the last 3,200 in-game days, I have built and used 4 other gunpowder farms, including this early-game cat-powered bowtie farm, this quad-tower flushing general mob farm, the popular but now useless stacking raid farm, and this maxed out gas farm, which is still not enough gunpowder for me. Here I have an unused player model spawned into a creative test world. He looks like the kind of person who'd need a lot of gunpowder, if I were guessing. Behind him you can see the creepers spawning and then disappearing to die in the nether. And there's a major risk of losing the whole world today. If portals don't link properly, it's game over. They'll create their own portals below the nether roof, and even if I then break those portals, they'll reform them before I can make the adjustments. If I go through the portal and spawn in the wrong spot, I'm going to be the one that lands among the 1,500 plus creepers that are now in the nether. Nah, surely if I died today I'd have named this video I died in hardcore Minecraft, right? That's a problem with hardcore we can discuss on another day. But for now we have a lot to do. The material list on the lower left is part of Lightmatica. With a project that could legitimately end the world, this farm has to be very precisely placed, built, and carefully tested. Also, I'm replacing the lime concrete in the schematic with black, so that'll appear yellow at times. Weird color blending, but it is what it is. With all of my farms and tons of work already done, material collection is often just a matter of going through my storage to gather materials, even for a giant build like this. It did require 48 turtle eggs, so I had to breed some at my farm. The rest of the materials were easy to gather, well, except for one. But first I converted some powder into concrete at the Silmango machine, and that's easy. I have about a shulker of warped wood, but I'll need more of that for all the buttons and stairs that we need. Again though, we have a farm for that. Why wouldn't we have a farm for that? And thousands of sea pickles? Easy, run to a farm. I'm kind of coming around to the idea that having all of these farms and all this infrastructure isn't a great thing all the time. Although when you then need 2,000 dispensers, you'd be just as happy as I am that I have an autocrafter that autocrafts dispensers. A little refill on the materials and this will be good to go. Okay, while flying out to get the mangrove roots, I did discover this gem. After flying for over 3 hours and over 40,000 total blocks last episode, turns out I made a left and not a right. I have a decent sized pale garden only 3,000 blocks from home. I found it without trying. Okay, we are 4+ days into searching. We went out about 7,000 blocks one way. I hate this game. And despite my protests, I still don't have a mangrove swamp as I'm going to be putting one on the perimeter, so I've held off on that for now. That means I get to go to the mangrove swamp and just swing my axe from side to side for a little while. Now it's time for the hard part. The last thing on my to-do list, as you can see on screen, is the nearly 11,000 tinted glass that I need. Unfortunately, I don't have any kind of amethyst farm at all. And yes, it's possible to replace the amethyst in the farm, but in my testing it did affect the rates in 121.4, so we are going to need just a lot of tinted glass. This is a geode I've seen before, but never started working on. It's just off my industrial mushroom island, so it's in a great spot. And if I clear this geode out and dig around all the budding amethyst, we'll get a much better idea of whether or not my potential geode is actually worth working at or not. Clearing all 6 sides of as many buds as possible will get a lot more to grow. Okay, when we first walked into this geode, I had no idea it was this packed. There are over 50 budding amethyst in here with over 250 exposed spots for clusters. I don't think I could have asked for a more ideal geode, actually. I'll eventually turn this geode into a farm, but that's not a today problem. After a quick AFK and bite to eat, I returned to see a ton of clusters all ready to be harvested. And I need a lot more than 250 clusters, but this was the process. AFK a bit, work on the mushroom island, then come back and harvest more shards. Still, 11,000 tinted glass is a lot, so let's build another side of the farm so I don't have to sit in one spot for hours. Back at the perimeter, I've moved all the materials except tinted glass down to where we need them. I need to add the storage portal here, and it's a very exact location and getting this right is crucial. If I don't do this right, 600,000 drops an hour could end up in a cave below me. And I'm going to clear the area around the portal just so we can see easier when we fly up and over here. It's a very dense kind of forest and it's hard to see. And after using my fortune pick on all the clusters I had collected, I'm closer than ever to starting the actual build. Then I renamed a mob for one of my mods on my stream, and I know what that means on YouTube, it means trouble, so I went and immediately got back up to 500. Then immediately named a second mob. I hope Bert and Ernie appreciate it. Anyways, let's go build the rest of the farm. This schematic will show me where the farm goes based on testing. If I put it one block too far forward or back, it's game, set, and match, so let's be pretty careful here. The first layer of the farm is black concrete and dispensers, but remember that the black concrete will look yellow, not lime green when I play. It's complicated, you'll see. I need to remove the existing carpets and slab first though. I could build it up by one block, but it's slightly more difficult there for slightly worse rates. Every so often I'll take a quick peek at the schematic to make sure I haven't gone too far. The carpets are fairly easy to get rid of, but the slabs are a bit more work, so I started with the outer squares on each one because inside I had a different plan. That plan I mentioned is water. More and more water, because flushing away the carpets is very, very easy. I'm sure at least one of you started to tell me this in the comments before I did it. But I did it. I got you. Clearing the rest of the area for the farm was as easy as that. Water buckets, a bit of slab removal, some of the last block cleanups, and then it was time to start that concrete and dispenser layer. I streamed a large part of the build process and chat bullied me into changing the lime concrete to black so the schematic was correct. The black on black is definitely easier on the eyes, but don't tell chat that. This layer was very straightforward, and then I added a boat to each dispenser. Dispensing these boats later is definitely the most nerve-wracking part of the farm build until I go through another portal later and see if it all connects. And while the farm building process has already begun, we're not finished harvesting amethyst for tinted glass. To make this a bit nicer during AFK sessions, I installed a Vanilla Tweaks texture pack that shows which amethyst is finished growing. Another side of this farm isn't the storage, just the kill chamber. Creepers are going to spawn in this portal and force themselves to fall down to their death. When they do, the stair-stepping pusher will then sort drops and ultimately shove them down an ice path back into the overworld through this portal here. And sorting drops in the overworld is much easier because then I can use water streams to move items around, which obviously just isn't possible in the nether. And here's the overworld progress so far. I'm 3/4 done with the next step, which is waterlogging a mangrove root above each dispenser. I've already filled them all with one boat so I can dispense those later, but now we need to cover them up. And this bit's fun and a bit easy as we just smash each ice and then crouch place a mangrove root on top of it and repeat this for the entire platform. This farm is designed by Methodzz. I know about a tutorial, but I'm not going to link it as I'm 99% sure it's an unauthorized and unwanted video. No clicks for content farms. And if there is an authorized tutorial for this, please let me know and I'll link it in the description. With that done, I can now put sea pickles on top of each waterlogged root. This will be to make sure the dispensed boats are at the exact right height when I dispense them later. They'll go through the root, through the pickle, and sit up on top. Sea pickles have a unique height per pickle, so I need to add 4 to each one. Adding 1, 2, or 3 wouldn't teleport creepers the same way. Next up is expanding the tinted glass walls up so that creepers can't just walk out of the farm if they spawn on the edges. I'll be AFK just above the bedrock on this farm, and I don't want anything walking up to me. Iron trapdoors go above the entire floor except where the dispensers are. Skeletons and zombies are just slightly taller than creepers, so this keeps any other mob from spawning in the farm. And with 4 platforms of that done, I'm making serious progress now. And the bottom obsidian for the large nether portals is next on my list. There are 3 portals per row, and creepers that spawn will be moved into boats until their heads are just inside this portal block, and then they'll get sent away to the nether. While one of these 4 modules is way more than good enough for most worlds, the truth is that the more spawning space and the more portals you have, the faster the farm is going to be, up until you're constantly at the hostile mob cap. With waterlogged stairs, carpets on those, and boats carefully dispensed, we're now at the fun part of the farm. Lighting all the portals is extremely scary because if I go through one and end up in the wrong place, or creepers end up in the wrong place, this is where it can all go wrong. I'm going to quickly replace my AFK spot with black concrete and put some glass over that, and then when I check the nether side, it actually looks okay. Creepers are up top where they're supposed to go, and there's gunpowder in the kill chamber, so way more creepers were here when I was fixing the AFK spot. And now I can turn the slime pusher system on and see how our drops go through to the overworld. And it looks like everything is working. I flew over to check the storage portal, and yeah, it's true. I already have gunpowder coming in, and lots of it. Ow. I had more than 2 shulkers of gunpowder from breaking 4 blocks in the center of the farm and replacing them. This is gonna be fun. I'm back at the AFK spot of the farm and closely watching what the creepers are doing. My piglin traps are working, but not fully set up yet, so rates won't be exactly perfect, but that's fine. I don't think many piglins will end up in the kill chamber, but if they do, I'm going to use the 8 times speed mixed loader I don't think many piglins will end up in the kill chamber, but if they do, I'm going to be using 8 times speed mixed hopper loaders, so the drops won't slow me down very much. I sat in the middle of the farm for a minute or two, and this is what I flew up to at the storage portal. It's not quite day 3200, and we've built 2 massive farms in 2 episodes. We're still making amazing progress in this world, I think. I want to try and show you how the farm works internally, but it's so fast that it's actually difficult. The creepers will spawn in and are immediately yanked up into the boats. The boats then immediately eject the creeper because of the waterlogged stair, so the creeper's hitbox immediately then touches the portal and they're teleported away. Another couple of minutes have passed and we have well over 2 more shulkers of gunpowder, bringing us up to 8 in like 5 minutes total. Let's build some proper storage though. I've added 10 8 times hopper speed loaders onto this farm. It should be enough, and if it's not, I'm going to burn the excess drops because that's enough for me. The gunpowder comes flying out of the portal, hits the wall and falls into the water stream, hits the honey block on the corner and gets aligned to that, where it then flows down over the loaders and fills up shulker after shulker. After adding another water stream for box collection and AFKing for about 15 minutes, let's see what we have now. So that's about 60 full shulkers of gunpowder. As much as I knew the rates were extremely high, you can't help but feel awe at seeing something so ridiculous. I do really love this OP world. I brought some of the gunpowder home for now, and that's it. Gunpowder is solved for this world forever. 2 huge farms in 2 episodes is quite a lot. Next time we're going to slow it down and build in the city. I'll see you then. Goodbye.